Since the 2001 elections, politics has tended to bring out the worst of state institutions. Turn on the television or flip through the overwhelming stream of online activity, and it is easy to find examples of hypocrisy or bad behavior in political discourse. Mid-last year, scores of activists triggered the March to Parliament campaign to protest against the gangster-style corruption in Parliament. They were expressly arrested, charged and remanded, and a few reportedly sexually molested on accusations of being foreign-backed to sow anarchy. In July this year, police literally escorted members of the loose outfit, Patriotic League of Uganda, to demonstrate outside the German embassy, targeting Ambassador Matthias Schauer, accused of engaging in undiplomatic conduct. Last week, on Tuesday, police watched as local artist Patrick Mulwana, better known as Alien Skin, performed at President Museveni's nomination rally at Kololo Independence Grounds, despite being wanted by police for alleged murder. On November 19th last year, Alien Skin and his gang descended on Zambia Hospital and violently assaulted the hospital staff. He was only arrested on November 20th, following a massive public uproar. Inexplicably, on September 14th, gun-toting security personnel dress-clad in combat attire and civilian clothes driving in 2 drones and a full escort patrol picked up the coordinator of the opposition National Unity Platform Leadership School, Doreen Kaija. After 2 days in detention, Kaija was arraigned before the Kawempe Grade 1 Magistrates Court on 3 counts of engaging in unlawful drilling, offences relating to management of a private school, and conspiracy to commit a felony. Prosecution alleged that the accused convened a meeting where individuals were trained in military-style exercises without the minister's permission, contrary to Section 45 of the Penal Code Act. Her 8 co-accused, including the National Unity Platform Deputy Spokesperson, Alex Waiswa Mufumbiro, Kampala Central Woman Lord Councillor Aspirant, Sauda Madada, and 6 private security aides of National Unity Platform President Robert Chagulanyi, were arrested earlier on different offences and later slapped with the count of unlawful drilling. Since the last general elections campaigns that pitted President Museveni against Robert Chagulanyi, the state institutions, including police, courts, the National Army and its organs, the Special Forces Command and Defense Intelligence and Security, formerly known as Chieftains of Military Intelligence, which are mandated to defend Uganda's territorial integrity, have been used voraciously to prosecute and persecute National Unity Platform politicians and supporters. Before the National Unity Platform, state institutions were employed to persecute and prosecute Dr. Kizza Besigye, who broke ranks with the National Resistance Movement in 1999 after authoring a critical paper accusing President Museveni of betraying the values of the 1981-86 Bush War. Since the 2001 elections, Uganda's elections are a militarized affair, leaving behind a trail of death, despair and distress.
That the people of Uganda have vested a mandate to govern them and secure their rights, have decided to ignore the dictates of the Constitution. So that's why you see people get tortured. Once you get tortured, you go to court. We've seen people being taken to court while they've been tortured. And to me, I couldn't bear watching Eddie Mutwe's clip. He was in court, having been tortured. He could not even speak coherently. But the court, instead of pausing proceedings to see that this man's rights were protected, that he got the necessary medical attention, but importantly, investigate who had subjected him to such brutality, instead they sent him on remand.
No matter the differences in politics, there's no excuse to kidnap citizens and not account for them. There's no excuse to torture citizens. There's no excuse to keep citizens in jail endlessly. And I would challenge the judiciary really to step forward. And where the government does not bring evidence in a trial, the court should simply say, if you don't come and start the trial, we are going to dismiss.
According to the Justice Benjamin Odoki Constitutional Commission report, rule of law implies that all people, but especially those in authority, should act according to established principles of law, and whoever deviates, irrespective of their position, must be punished by the appropriate authority. The principle implies strong commitment from all those in authority. It also implies education about the law, both for the ordinary person and for members of the security forces, and other government officers, the report reads in part. From comparative study of constitutional arrangements elsewhere, the report underlined that human rights and rule of law were fundamental for democracy, especially if the country was to avoid a repeat of its dark history. Under past governments of Obote and Amin, key state institutions were weaponized against those in opposition, real and perceived, and the citizens. This sustained persecution drove the population into the embrace of the National Resistance Army, led by the then run-of-the-mill Museveni, who launched a rebel war after losing the December 10, 1980 elections. Speaking at the Sam Njuba Memorial Lecture on September 18th, the Internal Affairs Minister, Kaindo Tafire, who found alongside President Museveni in the NRA, and the current Attorney General Chirawa Chwanuka, spoke at different wavelengths about the goings-on in the country.
Recently, I've heard of episodes of people being, so-and-so has been arrested. Arrested, yeah, very good. 6 months, this person has not been brought to court. So-and-so has disappeared. Like now, today somebody called me from Mbarara and said a gentleman called Wangomani, Amos Wangomani. A very big cadre, one of these middle cadres who fights from 70 to 39. He's been arrested. Amos Wangomani from Mbarara, just a simple businessman. He was arrested, he's disappeared for 3 weeks. His family went to court. First time he was not produced. Second time he was not produced. Yesterday they went to court. You know what the authorities told us, including Muzei Chiriwa Chwanuka, vicarious liability. They said, we don't know where the man is. Oh. Wait a minute. When people of my size, height, and weight disappear without trace, that's a problem.
All the offenses are committed there, and then they bring them to me to defend. So when people are disappeared, I normally write to the Ministry of Internal Affairs and say, Ministry of Internal Affairs, can you investigate and tell us where this person is? Then he comes back and tells me, I don't know where he is. So I go to court and I say, I don't know where he is. Then he comes here and says, you are responsible for it. General Tafire, we have to discuss this matter. I'm going to now start making our communications unprivileged. It's going to become public.
The groundswell of resentment, especially among young urban voters due to youth unemployment, institutionalized corruption, and poor service delivery, has pushed them into the National Unity Platform's embrace since Kyagulanyi announced intention to stand against President Museveni in August 2019. The government in power for 39 years, rather than listening to the voices on the ground, continues to discount the National Unity Platform support in the central region as an embodiment of Buganda ethno-nationalism, yet at the same time also doubled down on employing the iron fist. The Justice and Constitutional Affairs Minister, Norbert Mao, said the prevailing toxic politics has heightened violence.
Why should you have a ballot paper which is under the shadow of a gun? That's totally unacceptable. So, endless politicking should be replaced with the legal activism and the proactive engagement.
This, he concurred, has derailed rule of law, while the unruly conduct of some of members of security has taken the country a step back in human rights.
It's my firm opinion that through the conduct of unruly members of the security forces, we have taken a step back in safeguarding human rights.
According to the Odoki Commission report, the resulting breakdown in the rule of law in the past governments contributed not only to human rights abuse, but also corruption and other forms of abuse of public office, such as nepotism, sectarianism, discrimination, and victimization. The rest, as they say, is history, as similar iniquities continue to fester under the NRM government, some on the same level and others worse.